Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Glad to have you joining us here tonight. I'm going to hit the record button. Great. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Testimonial Tuesday call. My name is John L. Schuler. It is great to have you with us tonight. As people are coming in the room and joining us from all over the world, let's take a little peek and see where people are coming in from tonight. Canada, always well represented in the country of Canada. Welcome, everyone up in Canada, our northern neighbors. And here in the United States, well attended for sure. And looking down into South America, always good to see South America coming in. And a little Mexico there, that is cool. And obviously we are doing business all over the world, so it's so fun to have people joining us. We are an incredibly excited company to be bringing a product into the marketplace that is so wonderful. It's called Black Oxygen Organics. And we are doing business in Canada, in the United States, in the European Union, over in the Philippines and Australia and Mexico. And we're just getting started. So I'm really excited. This is one of my favorite calls to do every week. Why? Because we get to unpack another awesome story kind of in our Black Oxygen arsenal of testimonies. It's so fun to hear how this product is changing people's lives. And so we've got another great chapter for you this very evening. So wherever you are, I want to invite you to kick back, relax a little bit, enjoy this information session tonight. I'm going to go ahead and shift over to my computer here for a minute. Got a couple things to share with you before we roll on. Let me see if I can find the right button there. That would help. All right. Officially, Testimonial Tuesday is off and rolling, and welcome to you. My name is John L. Schuler. I am the co-master distributor, along with Brian Smith out of Portland, Oregon. What does that mean? It means we've been hanging out for over 2 years now with Mark and Carlo and the team here to bring this great product all around the world. So we get the honor of having a big old megaphone that we get to shout this wonderful message from the mountaintops. And so I'm your host for this evening, and I like to say kind of your tour guide for the night. Actually, is kind of how I look at it. So I want to start off with a little disclaimer here. The statements that we're going to make tonight, the statements of our guests tonight, of course, have not been evaluated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. The product is not designed to treat, to diagnose, cure, prevent, or mitigate any disease. But I can tell you this, when you do a lot of the right things, miraculous things happen in our human body. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. What happens when you give the body the building blocks that it truly needs? Miracles start to happen. The body gets to carry out its divine mission. And you might be saying, well, what is that divine mission? Well, my response is to keep us healthy, to live our best life. That's exactly the goal, at least that I have. And I think probably a great many on this call probably feel the same way. So our high potency nutrient-dense product line has the power to rejuvenate, to restore, and revitalize our health and performance. So whether you're looking to deal with mineral deficiency, or you are wanting to take the edge off the stress in your life, or maybe you're a high-level athletic performer, or you're dealing with an imbalance, this is going to be the perfect conversation tonight to hear a little bit about our product line. Comes in 3 kind of fun delivery systems: tablets, which you can just drop in water, it'll let effervescent, and it turns that water black. And it's just an amazing product, but very convenient. And it comes in a blister pack. You just pop it out like a little piece of gum or something and drop it in your water. We also have found a way to infuse this amazing product in coffee. So if you are a coffee drinker, you like that ritual of coffee, you can get your full mineralization in a cup of coffee. And my personal favorite is the powder because it's so versatile. You can drink it in water. You can bathe in it and have a detoxifying bath. You can do a facial mask if you'd like to rejuvenate your skin, rehydrate your skin. Or you can do a poultice. You can actually put it right on a particular part of your body and get those benefits very localized. So we have lots of good information to share, but it's not about my story tonight. It's about our wonderful guest that's joining us here this evening. And her name is Rachel Illari. And I am excited to have Rachel on the phone. She lives in South Central Pennsylvania. She is a nature lover, rivers, lakes, hiking, gardening, forest bathing. All of that sounds incredibly awesome. She's been on Black Oxygen for a year as of the 11th of April. So you are coming up on your 1-year anniversary. Mama of 2 boys, yoni steaming facilitator and womb health educator, loves supporting mothers in that wellness state, going from preconception all the way through childbearing, and using plants and earth medicine to facilitate I think, a very balanced and probably wonderful state of health and wellness. Rachel, I know you're out there somewhere. Let's have you join me on the camera here. I'm going to go ahead and take my screen share off so we can focus all of our attention on you tonight. Thank you so much for being here with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's always fun. This is, like I said, this is really one of my best nights of the week because I get to hear this great information. So where I always love to start, I'm always intrigued about where people are in their life in any given moment, that when this information kind of comes across your desk or your table or whatever it is that you might be hanging out at when you see this for the first time, what was happening for you that kind of created that opening that when you saw this, you said, that's interesting. Maybe I'll take a little deeper look at this. What was happening for Rachel?
April 2020. For our family, and for me as a mother with a 1-year-old who had just turned 1, and my husband had just been diagnosed with colon cancer and was recovering from surgery. And I was quite run down, stressed, emotional, and physically kind of spent, which from growing a human and then feeding a human and then taking care of my family and helping my husband and my older son cope through that really tough time. It was about 3 months prior he had received the diagnosis. So April, when I was introduced to Black Oxygen by a alternative nutritionist and health practitioner, was really timely because I had been knowing that I had been missing something for a long time. I was trying I'm like, I just feel like I'm just missing. I was drinking coconut water and I was trying so many things. And I knew minerals and enzymes are so essential to health. And it just came at just the most best time for me to really climb back up and replenish myself at every level.
Wow. So if there was ever a moment where you were kind of wide open, that would have been it. It sounds like you had a lot going on.
We did.
And just almost being a little prayerful about the right intervention, just kind of seeping into your life.
It truly was. It truly was. I don't know where we'd be now as a family without this in our life and using it every day in every way.
So tell me a little bit about what happened first, or how did you got the product, and maybe you got the powder, or you got the tabs, or maybe you got the liquid, which is a previous generation of the product. How did you start using it? What was that first experience? Did you start with you and then your husband? And how did that story evolve?
Yes. It was the liquid that was like the last 2 months of like the squirt in the water. So I was encouraged and guided to start drinking. And my husband did it right with me. He intuitively was like, yes, I need this. Yes. Give me more. And his response was like, yes, I want another glass. I want more. I want more. His body he was just in tune. And I had my first glass and my body responded. I felt such thirst like I've never felt in my whole life. And I thought, I must really need to drink. I just kept drinking water and drinking until I felt like actually hydrated for the first time in a long time. With nursing, it's great demand and childbearing on our fluids, and then stress and crying and those things tap our fluids. But and I remember noticing my skin after like 2 weeks. I was like, wow, look at my face. I've just noticed visually my face feeling actually hydrated, and then feeling actually like a little more pep in my step. It was a little more alive, almost a little more energy.
Yeah. How much of the product? So you're talking about kind of drinking it throughout the day, maybe perhaps. Was that a serving a day, 3 servings a day, or what? Everybody has, and I kind of always correlate it, Rachel, to the sleep number bed. It's like, what's your number, to where you really started to feel like the benefits kind of turned the corner for you?
Definitely. So she encouraged us to start out at 3 servings a day, like in the 16 ounces. And my husband, he was like, I just feel like I'm going to do like 4. He felt great doing that. And I was like, I got to ease in. But then I realized, like, now optimally, I feel like for me, 5 servings a day is what I need right now in my life. Like, that feels like really good digestion, really good energy, really stable energy, really clear thinking. But it was definitely 3. It was starting out with a 3.
Did you have any kind of, people I think could get concerned sometimes when they hear about our product in terms of helping our body detoxify.
Mm-hmm.
And for some of us, that can be pretty gentle. For others, it's kind of like a wrecking ball, So what was that experience like for you? I mean, if you think about detox, and I'm interested in hearing what happened for your husband, because obviously he's going through a process as well.
Yeah. Yes. It was gentle. Like I noticed my sleep was good. Like within a week, I was like, okay, I'm feeling different. For me, I was like, I'm feeling different. I noticed within a month, like during my menstrual cycle, just having better energy, even during the time when you're lower naturally. I just noticed like, okay, I just don't feel as dragged down. And then for me, it was just thirst, and it was gentle. There was no like major swings or headaches or nothing major for me.
Mm-hmm. So how about your husband? Did he experience, was it pretty gentle for him as well?
Same. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think, we were doing a lot of juicing and gentle eating for him as he was healing too. So that probably supported that before it was introduced for him. Right. But no, he just was like, yeah, I just want more of that. Literally give me more.
Yeah. And I don't think it, I think that everyone's body's different. Obviously, some people are like super sensitive and they made that overloaded, that toxicity it's just difficult for some people.
Right.
But I think more times than not, I hear more your story of it being a fairly gentle process. And sometimes, with people that are highly kind of toxic, we say, well, just have a handshake with the product. Did you jump right into 3 servings right off the bat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt we're very intuitive. Like, okay, I was like, this is time. This is it. Boom. Like it came in and when it was introducing me, I could feel my body go, yes, I could feel it.
Do you have a favorite preparation? Are you a coffee drinker? Are you drinking the tabs or the powder or what's your favorite?
I love the powder. I do like coffee once in a while. Like I do. I like my coffee once in a while, but every day in the water in the morning with the lemon juice, boom. And then if I have tea, I'll add it in my tea, which I do a lot of herbal teas. Definitely we do the bath up in here about 3 times a week.
Okay.
My husband loves the bath. He takes a lot of fulvic baths, probably more than any of us actually.
So how would you kind of give people an idea what the bath is like? Because I mean, we think about, and I know that when Mark started the mud baths years ago, mud baths are kind of big in Europe, but you're kind of getting down into that thick, muddy soup. This is a little different in your own home, in your own tub. But what was that? What are the qualities of that bathing experience?
Yeah, it feels like so deeply replenishing. It's hard to put into words.
Mm-hmm.
I'll soak in there about 20 minutes with my candles and crystals, and I get a little bit of like a state where I try and describe it, where it's you're in there and all of a sudden you realize you don't have a thought in your head. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it's like the ultimate like gentle little high where you're like, it's just, you don't have any thoughts in your head. And I just love that feeling. And I just can hang out there for like 10 minutes with just no thoughts in my head. Mm-hmm. And complete relaxation. And then completely like just, you feel full and filled up with life and love. And then your skin feels like the softest ever. It's just I absolutely love it. And I do it every week and a couple times a week, and it's a treat. It's a really good way to replenish.
It is. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to do a face mask. If I'm going to go all in on the bath, you might as well do a face mask too. Get a little love and hydration on the face skin as well.
Yes.
When you do that, and I know that there's some recipe on I think on the powder. I think it's a 1/4 cup or 2 tablespoons or something like that. How much do you use? I'm just curious in your body.
I do. Wow. I did it the first time. I was like, wow, this is like double. I did like probably 2 teaspoons.
Okay.
And then a little baking soda, mm-hmm. and then a little spring water. And I was like, that's a lot. And so I ended up doing my whole face and my neck. And then I steamed over like an herb pot, and I steamed. And, but I thought, okay, learning, next time I can adjust that a bit. But it came, I just took, what I took was a little makeup brush
Right.
and I just stroked it on that way, which was a really nice way to get it applied. And it felt, it was just like beautiful, healthy pink, just like so soft. I mean, I've never felt skin feel that soft.
It is. It's a beautiful thing. One of the things I've tried, and I don't know if anyone else has tried this, but aloe vera juice, because aloe is so good for your skin. It's a great carrier also to mix that if you're doing the facial. What about the bath? How much did the product you put in the bathtub?
I would so try the aloe. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, you should try the aloe. It's lovely.
Yeah. Oh, in the tub, we have a little jar right up in the bathroom, and we have like a teaspoon, like a kitchen teaspoon, right? And we do like 1.5. Sometimes we do a little more, but sometimes 1.5, and sometimes with a toddler, we'll do like a tea color, He'll say, mud, I want mud. He will literally say, I want mud.
Yeah.
Kids are very in tune with their body, and we'll put some in there for him. But I would say, and sometimes we just, sprinkle it like a fairy and look and watch. But I would say around 1.5 teaspoons up to 2 teaspoons, depending on the day.
It is art, is it not? I mean, if that's not God's beauty right there, putting that black into the water and seeing that ripple is really, it's a beautiful thing.
It's cosmic.
It is. I get very stuck on that. I have
to look like, oh, you're already just relaxed right there. You haven't even gone in yet.
That's right. So I know that I'm an overachiever. I probably use more like 2 tablespoons, but the water is literally so black. It's amazing how small, it just goes to show you how concentrated it is that it can turn an entire tub of water jet black. It's amazing.
It is. It's beautiful.
So you have 2 children, and obviously one was 1, I think, when you started. So that means that baby is probably 2 about now.
That's right.
So do you give them the product? Do they drink this product at all?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And tonight my son went for his first soccer practice, and he made it sure to tell me, I put my fulvic in my water.
Oh,
so cute. Like, I think it's good for them. Like, we were talking about it, joking about it. So yeah, he, in our morning water, I'll ask him, like, do you want it? Do you want plain water? Do you want it? I'll let him choose. And some days plain, some days yes. And I serve it up. And then our younger son will put it in his little water bottle. And oh yeah, everybody, every morning we do our fulvic water, fruit.
They have their regimen. And now if somebody doesn't take it, do they miss it? Do you miss it? Do you feel it? If you don't get that in your body, in the morning or whatever time your ritual is, does your body go, I'm kind of missing something?
Yeah, it's like, I'm thirsty. It's like, it's like, definitely don't miss it, or I can tell if I'm it's like you say, your body's like, excuse me. I did notice also, it was really interesting, last summer when the changes with the shipping and coronavirus and everything were going on, and I didn't time things right, and I was out for maybe 2 weeks. And I did notice, I was like, oh no, but I actually did not crash and feel wonky and funny like I thought I was going to. I felt good, and I was like, wow, that is amazing. I felt like I had like filled up these reserves, and I was happy to add it back in, because the way the world is, we really need some deep replenishment. It is profound how much this has helped me in feeling that word of like deep nourishment, deeply filled up, and then really connected with plants and plant life and the world. And even when the seasonal shifts happen, I didn't feel that like, I felt just like this is happening. I felt so in tune with the cycles and the seasons like I never had this year.
Well, yeah, just being connected. I think when the body is in balance, when it's not, kind of reaching out to find that missing, starving piece, the body's just it's calm. It's calm. I think that equanimity, I guess, is a good word, right?
I like that word. Yeah. It's very simple, but very a deep sense of like, wow, I feel really abundantly full.
So when you have, I know that you've kind of been an advocate of the product to others. Have you had fun sharing this with others? Have you seen other people having good experience on the product as well?
I have been sharing with some neighbors and some other mamas, and my mother-in-law, she was looking to learn, she was like, what is that? Learning about it. And she was able to evaluate her her health and look at some things she was taking and say, let me shift my funds around and try this and see what I feel. And she shared that, some shifts she had around like her respiratory health, like her breathing and allergies, like her response to like pollen and like things in her environment, and sleep. Like she was like, I don't really notice anything. And then she said, well, I'm sleep. My sleep is good. Like interesting, how people say, I don't know. And then when you think a little more, you say, oh, this and that and that. And more. And I shared with another woman and her husband, who my husband met through his different treatments. So he's going through his alternative treatments. And he found his restless legs were great. They stopped,
Wow.
that after about 3 weeks, she said, he like was just sleeping great. Just go to sleep. No issues with getting to sleep for him. It was one of his benefits he noticed.
Well, it's interesting. You kind of said something that kind of caught my mind, and that was that, people are taking, in some cases, lots of different things, trying to find that secret key, that unlocks that best feeling just across their spectrum, of their health. And so for some of us, we just kind of recognize that this is filling up some of those things, so we don't maybe need to take as much of something else. Has this replaced some things for you in your regimen?
Yes, it has. We were doing this multi-pack, and it was like $90, and I could just tell. I was like, I just can feel. I was like, let me see. I took it, and I was like, I can know that my body's like, no, it's not doing anything for you. And so that was a wonderful realization, and just that it's versatile, like it's easy, and it's just so useful in so many ways that I really appreciate. And it just makes your water taste like just drinking crystal. It's just like crystal clear. My friend also, because we get local spring water from a spring, and so she drank it. She was like, that's like tastes like the best spring water. I'm like, I know. It's so clean and clear tasting. It's like delicious.
So if you were going to isolate, 2 last questions for you. First one is, if you were going to look at the spectrum of benefits that you're personally having, or maybe you and your husband together, whatever, but maybe the top two things that kind of raise above it all. What are your top 2?
Top 2 is
the benefits.
The level of relaxation in the bath that I feel is like nothing else. And I had a friend say that, because I had her take a bath and take a Reiki session with me, and she said, I've never had a bath like that. She like fell asleep, woke up. I said, I know. So the level of relaxation, and then the best benefit, just energy levels for me being more stable. That's like worth its weight in gold. It's just so appreciated. And being a mom, taking care of so many people, and needing to take care of yourself first, and just feeling like never felt this stable that I can remember in the past 10 years or so. It's just wonderful.
That is wonderful. Okay, here's the final one for you. So people are listening tonight on the call, probably for the first time, but they're wondering whether this is going to unlock some door that they've been scrambling with forever, trying to figure out how to unlock that door, to their better, to a better health, their better life, just having all these kind of things we're talking about. What would you tell somebody who's kind of thinking, well, I don't know, maybe I should try it, maybe not. I don't know. Is this going to really make a difference for me? What would you tell that person?
Oh, I would say you cannot lose, because you can try it out and you have a money back guarantee. So that's how I looked at it. Like, well, I don't have anything to lose, because I really was sensing that there's a foundational piece that I was looking for. And then I was offered to experience it, and I did. And it's been a life-changing addition in our household. So you cannot lose trying it out. And it's worth being courageous and saying, okay, well, what is this timing? It has come into my life now. Let me have a look deeper. Let me try it out.
Well, I think it's interesting, because some people just tiptoe into that experience. You jumped in with 3 servings. And, I think for For some of us, we're just kind of wired that way. Let's see what it's got, and others have to tread a little gingerly. So we get to choose, obviously, how we approach that. But I think you're exactly right, is that we don't know what's in store for ourselves, let alone other people. That's why it's like, I don't know if my gifts, for what happened for me are going to be the same for you, but they're worth investigating.
Yes. Yeah. And my mother-in-law, she started out, listening to her body, she's like, I'm going to start out like this, and I'm going to see. And she went in gentle, and that worked for her very well. Yeah. And so she's able to, and she's just, one person able to use her pack a lot longer. She gets the powder as well. Yeah.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for being with me tonight. I'm so excited to have gotten to spend a little time with you here tonight.
Most welcome. My pleasure.
And I know it will be a continuing story, will it not?
It will. That's year 1, baby, coming up. So.
Okay. All right. We'll see what's in store for year 2. Thanks for taking your time tonight. We wish you and the family all the best, and your husband to continue to be strong and healthy out there in the world.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you again soon.
Take care.
All right. All right. I'm going to return back over to just a little bit of information. That was Rachel. We're so pleased and happy that she was with us tonight, the blessings that she's given a few listeners this evening. But what are some of the other benefits of using fulvic acid? Well, we've talked about several of them tonight, but reducing that oxidative stress and providing a powerful electrolyte. You heard about her son out there getting out on the sports field, giving that little extra go to get out there and replace those electrolytes and perform at a higher level, but also creating an alkalizing environment for the body. There are many imbalances that seem to thrive in an acidic body. So alkalizing is a powerfully good thing, providing trace minerals to the body, an anti-aging environment, and of course, oxygen is such a big part of what our product does. It provides usable oxygen directly into the cell, increasing cellular oxygen up to 45%, improving brain function, memory, and mood, regenerating cells, supports the absorption of nutrients. So if you eat other good things, you eat greens, you eat chlorophyll, all these wonderful things are so giving to our body's health. This just helps deliver those at the cellular level even better. So boosting metabolism and balancing hormones. We know our product has a lot of plant hormones or phytohormones in the product because it comes naturally from Mother Earth, from the plants. So, and just an incredible array of benefits. And I'll tell you, I think this is the short list. It goes on and on and on. The good news here is that we're providing a product directly from Mother Earth's original superfood store. This bounty comes from down in the earth. We pull it up. We use oxygen and water in our process here, no caustic chemicals. So it really is a very pure, very concentrated, and very powerful product right from Mother Earth. So we're going to continue our journey unpacking the next great story next Tuesday night. We got some great ones coming up over the next couple of weeks. I hope you'll continue to check back in with us. So whether you're drinking the product, whether you want to enjoy one of those very wonderful mud baths that Rachel talked about this evening, or whether you want to put it in your coffee. It's just powerful that we get to choose all these wonderful ways to get these amazing minerals and humic and fulvic acid into our bodies. So join us next week. We're going to have our continuing story. My name again, John Altshuler, your host for tonight's call. If you have a story to tell, you'd like to get on the show because you want to share that love and that blessing with others, we really appreciate it. Just shoot me an email, johnaltshuler@me.com. We'd love to have you. And until next week, we want to wish you great health, great abundance, and just continuing to eke out your best life, and maybe not just eke, but maybe in great strides. So we wish you all the love and all the power. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.